Speaking of projects that, are they a album? Are they a mixtape? What's going on? Your man Metro Boomin.
Yes, Metro.
He put out
St. Louis born Metro Boomin.
Now you want to claim? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just saying that in the context of this thing that he's doing.
Sure. He put out a 2-track. I guess it's a mixtape. I think it's considered a mixtape.
Two track.
Sorry, two disc mixtape.
Okay. Yeah.
Called Futuristic Summer.
Mm-hmm.
It made headlines, not really because of the music necessarily, but because it only sold 22K or something like that first week.
Yeah.
And people were like, "What's going on? Why?" Because we're all amateur record label execs here, just like we're all amateur basketball GMs, and we're all, it's all the same thing, right? The world is just content for us to comment on. That's it.
Yeah. I love how you just landed at that.
But I feel like he got a lot of, or at least I shouldn't say he. There was just a lot of people, people online were like, I can't believe it. But on the other hand, like in this concept of what's a mixtape versus what's an album, seems like he kind of did what he wanted to do on this project, right? This is and I can't believe we're hitting nostalgia for this. This is like a tribute to what era? Would you call this like late 2000s? Is that right?
Yeah. So like 2009 to like 2011.
11. That weird in between, right? We're post snap, but we're pre Chicago drill trap influencing everybody. We're like in that. This is like the first MMG album era, like that kind of.
I would
it
even
doesn't
say
sound like that, but I'm saying it's that. It's even before that, yeah.
I would say it's before that. So they call this like the futuristic era. They call this. They call it. There's a mixtape by, I believe. Who was it? Was it Young Dro and J Money? Don't give me the line, but the name of the mixtape was Black Boy Swag, White Boy Tags, which is indicative of the style that Atlanta people in Atlanta were wearing clothes. So they were wearing a lot of Hollister and Abercrombie.
This is 2011, yeah.
So they were doing this is Travis Porter. This is the right. The Mohawk.
Right.
Oh, I didn't even tell y'all about. I saw David Banner this weekend, and it was the worst show I've ever seen in my life.
Oh no! What did he?
Do I want to say that now? We'll save it. We'll do that at the end. But the haircut just reminded me because he had one of those 2011 Atlanta haircuts. Yeah, so this is like that era. There's a lot of talk about like, and I may be getting my eras wrong too because a lot of that was a blur. But like Jordans, people were wearing. There's a lot of discourse online about whether like Jordans, the 6 rings and the Spizikes and the Fusions, if those were ever like legitimate sneakers, if they ever had a run. They were. They had a run. I didn't own any, but they had a run. They did. Right. I mean, it's what's incredible to me, and it makes sense. Although it almost feels, they used to say there was a 20-year cycle for nostalgia, but then we got to a point where I feel like you could shorten that to like 18-ish years, but now we're getting close to like a 15-year cycle for nostalgia. Yes, sir.
I am not ready for nostalgia for 2010. That's
crazy.
So that we're gonna breeze right past the snap era. Then no one's gonna be
No, we've had it. I mean, Fabo's had a run, a little bit of a legacy.
We didn't really. Yeah.
Were you gonna say we didn't really what?
No, I was just gonna say like I feel like that whole. I mean, some tough times in those mid 2000s.
Yes, they were. To me, that's the worst era in hip hop. It's 2006 to about 2008, 2009. It's bad times.
I remember sitting there at like industry conferences where they're telling everybody how to make money with ringtones. Like I was there. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's right. That was your era where you made a.
I was trying. I was like really out there, and boy, those were.
It's ugly.
It's tough times. Post music being online, but pre-streaming, the industry was. People think it's tough now. Oh boy, nobody knew what the heck to do then.
It was bad. Yeah. iTunes as a retailer. MP3s were cheaper than ringtones. Yeah, it was tough time.
I think like what's interesting about this is, this was released as a mixtape, but it's on streaming. Calling it a mixtape is really only noteworthy for the label. It just means, does this count towards Metro's deal or not? But it lets Metro kind of put out whatever he wants. I think if this were actually a world where there was truly like a different infrastructure, I'm not saying we should go back to this because it was a pain, but if it were really an effort, like let's just say instead of this being on Apple, instead of people having to actually go and like to their regular place to get music, if this were released on DatPiff 15 years ago, right, it would be really, it's a totally different concept and reaction and response and everything else, because we all knew that was just different free music. That was a whole different idea, Right. So I don't know. Good for Metro. This is an interesting example to me. I don't know if this was explicitly that way, but the fact that it's a mixtape tells me I think I want to suspect it is. If you want to put out something, if the label's like, you can put it out. We're not going to count it against your deal, but you can do whatever you want. Maybe for the right artist, depending on how bad your deal is, that could be a weird way of having little creative freedom. It's like, yeah, cool. All right, fine. I'm still putting music out. I'm doing whatever I want. Gets my name out there. Maybe I leverage that into something else, this, that, and the third. But, if you're an artist who's been stuck on your first deal and you're just trying to get those albums out to get off that, then sure, that's a different situation altogether.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure that this is a relationship album. I would say I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a relationship album where
nobody got paid for any of this, probably.
Yeah, just calling in favors and, hey, let's bring this back. It helps people like Young Dro, J Money, Roscoe Dash, Travis Porter, gets them some notoriety, gets them back out there for a potential run. Right. Metro still has a lot of leverage based off the Spider-Man soundtrack, the work with Future last year.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the label's like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Right.
Similar, but not so. It reminds me of what Jack Harlow did with Jackman, but I feel like
Jack Harlow.
I was just talking to my son about that. Like, I really thought that Doja Cat record could have done something, but
he's nothing.
Nothing.
It's
crazy.
There's nothing going on.
Tough time for those 2020 artists, man. Tough time. So yeah, I mean,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
We didn't have to go too far into a second, but he's actually kind of like the rare artist who actually did well during COVID in a weird way. Like, he blew up during COVID in that era, but like as we've all come back from that, it's just been,
it's funny though, because it's like it feels like music hasn't changed from 2020 to now, but it has.
It has, yeah,
it has.
I think it has.
So, but I mean, it makes sense though, right? That's 5 years ago. Think about, of course, it's a completely different world. But music from 1993 to 1998, music from 2003 to 2000, sounds completely different. Doesn't feel that way when you're living it out, especially the last 5 years that we've just had as a world. But it's changed over. Did you listen to this Metro album? Is there anything
I did? I skimmed it, and I gotta be honest. But this is what was amazing. Not amazing, but this is one thing I want to talk about. Is I was listening to this and I was just like, okay, you know what? We are at the point like. This is nostalgia for people younger than me.
Yes.
Which is a whole brave new world for us, right?
Yes.
We are now nostalgic for a time that I'm like, no, you should not be nostalgic for that. That's no. You're nostalgic for Roscoe Dash? Travis Porter? No.
But again, if that's 2010 and we're in 2025,
I know.
People who were 15 are now 30.
I know.
It makes sense.
Of course it makes sense, but it's just like, okay, that's really what I want to say is like, between this, Wayne put his drought mixtapes on streaming, like we will now, and just time is getting compressed for these cycles, right? Nostalgia's hitting quicker.
Yes.
So this is just what we're going to see, and so I thought this was a noteworthy thing to be like, nostalgia for the people younger than me. Okay, let's see what they do with it, truly.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, ironically, an artist who would be just, if he were in a different point in his life and career, an artist who could profit from this tremendously would be Drake, right? If he were not Drake doing whatever Drake's doing right now, but like that kind of era, that time, ironically, Nicki too, right? Like you could do a whole Young Money nostalgia. No, but Nicki is, she's, trying to take down the Illuminati, and God bless her. I don't know what she's doing.
It's crazy because I feel like in a way, Drake is redefining, and Nicki could do this, but they're redefining what it means to be a legacy artist, because they are like the top 1% of legacy artists. So they're legacy artists, and then there's Drake and Nicki Minaj, right? Two of the biggest artists in music history. So there's a way for them to be active and relevant, but then also heavily lean on their discography, which is what I feel like Drake is doing when you look at the set list for these tours, these shows that he's doing. And also, I think he announced an American tour yesterday.
No.
He said it was a post of him at tour is on Instagram, and it said coming to a city near you. And apparently there's another Iceman live stream that's supposed to be happening on Friday.
Yeah, he teased the tour, but I mean,
city
sure,
though.
like,
I mean, of course, like America's not the only place with cities, but you know, I don't know. I feel like he would have, if he would have announced, if it would have been in a different country, he would have said, I'm going to Africa, I'm going to Australia, I'm going to this country. He didn't say that. He just said coming to a city near you, which leads me to believe that he's going to be back stateside, which is interesting, but also like, I don't know, man. Anyway,
you want to talk about some music?
Yeah, I briefly want to say with this Metro album.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I did like the Waka Flocka song. It was called Clap. That was cool. That was dope. Other than that, 2010, not my time. Not my time at all.
Also, I was just listening to this and I was just like, you're telling me like this is a lot of Metro. It's all Metro, obviously, but also like Zaytoven's helping out, Honorable C Note's helping out in some of these. Like, you're telling me this is the best they could do for beats? I don't know, man. A lot of these felt like just not for me.
Nah, again, like you weren't. I don't know. This might have been the era where you wearing like. I feel like the white guys are wearing. This was like the boat shoes era, right?
Yeah, I didn't really have I never had a boat shoes run.
Okay.
Wasn't really me. Although remember, I live in Connecticut, where like you know, boat shoes are you're gonna see kids wearing that basically wherever.
For sure. That's why you can never. But that's why you can never be the king of New York, because you live in Connecticut.
I live in Connecticut. I mean, the one thing about like this is like Metro is 31. He's being nostalgic about music from the end of his high school years. So like, sure,
there it is.
Great, makes sense.
Yep. I'm with you.